I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. Henry David Thoreau. The more I started to incorporate other people within my project, I wanted to understand what living deliberately looked like from other perspectives. The whole concept of living deliberately seemed to be foreign to them. Nobody really knew what it truly meant.
Brandon, what does your shirt mean?
Why not?
What does that mean to you? That's kind of like living deliberately, right?
I don't know.
Brandon, oh my gosh. Brandon, can you just answer the question, or at least try to? Please? For me?
No.
Please?
I don't know what it means.
Okay, kind of means like taking your own path in life, kind of like
that's what
why
I was
not?
gonna say.
Oh, I know. I'm sure it was. Okay.
So, Emma, what do you think it means to live deliberately?
I don't even know what deliberately means.
Okay. Haley, what do you think it means to live deliberately?
Hold on.
My friends didn't really understand what it means to live deliberately, and I didn't blame them. I realized that in order to understand what it means, it really comes from your own personal self-awareness journey. When Thoreau went into the woods, he wasn't just doing it for other people, he did it for himself and in order to discover what he believes is life. In order for me to really understand this topic, I decided to choose something that is super, super personal, but I just wanted to do it because I really wanted to discover more about it. For me, it's the journey of recovery. I'd love to help you and everything, but then I got a text from my friend Addie, and like her response, I just wanted to share. I didn't think it was like, it was weird. Anyway, so like I sent her the same text I sent everybody else, and like, you know, we were pretty close there. Anyway, and she said, LOL. I would, but I'm actually at Denver Acute for treatment. Denver Acute is just another eating disorder treatment, which is like another, it's like not for kids though, it's like, it helps adults and everybody too. It's not just Children's Hospital, and she said like, because she got to 70 pounds, so she would, but she's not in the right mindset, and I think that's something to really talk about. That's important because like when you're in recovery, you can't like, that's all you're thinking about, like not recovery, but about your eating disorder, and like you can't even think about anything else. So I wish her the best of luck. But in summer 2017, my family and I decided it was finally time to visit the Children's Hospital Eating Disorders Unit. It was after years of mental health struggles and even attending a weight loss camp that this decision was made. There, everything seemed useless. The only thing that ever seemed to matter was my eating disorder. I didn't know what to do. After months and months and months of being outpatient, finally, at the beginning of January, I realized that it was definitely time for me to make some difference. It was definitely time for me to get motivated. For me, the best thing I have ever done in my recovery process has been making this list of what I want my year to look like. For the first year ever, I have chose to not make weight loss my goal, not make it my New Year's resolution, and to not make it the only thing I can prioritize in my life. Instead, my goal was to just, for the first time ever, have a good year. And so I made this list. I walked to a park and I spent a long time making it. Honestly, I think it is exactly what living deliberately means. One of the best ways I discovered how to live deliberately was to be terrified and to do things anyway. With that, my friend Natalie and I signed up for ice skating lessons. We're basically the oldest in the class, and everyone else is like 7-year-old. And one of the instructors is in our biotech class, but we love skating and it wasn't going to stop us. Even though I injured my knee skating, I still want to pursue it, and I think that's pretty deliberate. I am so passionate expressing the idea of living deliberately in recovery and how it is essential to survive. When you have no motivation and nothing else to give, discovering your worth and your meaning is going to be what eventually gets you through. Thoreau said he went to the woods to discover only the essential facts of life and see if he could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when he came to die, discover that he had not lived. And when you enter a recovery center, you are there to discover the reason why recovery is worth it, and that there is more than just an eating disorder voice in your head. When it's in your head, you aren't living. Like Thoreau's journey, recovery is a long process that you need to learn and see what life is like when it is your own self-awareness. Beginning recovery seems to be a beginning of death when really it is ending it. Living deliberately brings the life back in. When Thoreau says to suck the marrow out of life, that is the moment people in recovery need to experience. It is what lets you let go of the eating disorder and that which is taking control over you. I know that I am allowed to experience life, to let myself feel what I need to as part of the human experience. I don't have to punish myself because I have let go. I now know my bad days aren't as bad as my worst days. I am living in the gray and that I am not required to push myself to perfection all the time. I now know that I am good enough and worth recovery. I now live by my values. I understand empathy and perspective and try to live each day with those intentions. To lay in grass means thinking in grass, which is something I've always done, and it helps to sort out my thoughts. I believe that people are searching for validation, but if we valued self-compassion over self-esteem and values instead of Instagram likes, I believe everyone would be much happier and aware. That's the purpose of living deliberately. I am not going to wait until I lose weight to go to prom. I am not going to lose weight in order for me to play my sport. I am not going to not raise my hand in class because I am afraid that people will judge how my arm looks. I will read my poem in speech and debate, even if it is about eating disorders, and I will stand up in front of a crowd and share what I believe in. I will write my journalism entries, and I will share what the real stories are, even if I have to take forever to find them, because that is life.